because this first season covers the entirety of the first game, what do they do for season 2 if it is not The Last of Us Part 2?
I think they split Part 2 into 2 seasons. I won't say why, because I don't want to spoil it, but the way that game is structured, I think it makes sense to have 2 different seasons with different tones, maybe.
Okay.
To make it work. I'm trying to be as vague as possible.
I'm definitely not opposed to that. Correct my math if I'm wrong, Jake. Part 2 is set 4 years after Part 1.
That sounds right. I believe so.
3 to 4-ish. I'm not saying we need to know everything that happened in those 4 years, but like I would really love a season, maybe 2 seasons of like the in between, because I think the fact that Neil Druckmann, who is the writer of the games, is so heavily involved in the writing of this show, I'm really interested in what that could mean. And honestly, it's selfish. I just want more seasons of this show. I don't want to run headfirst into game 2, because even beyond what we see in the game, there's still so much happening in this world. And I think as they're integrating themselves into the Wyoming settlement and dealing with the other things of the world, I think there's a lot of story that could be told if Craig and Neil choose to go that route. And my fingers are crossed.
I will say that, so like, as angry as I was at this finale, it was not an anger at quality in any means.
Nope.
A first season of such quality that is so rare in television. Like this, like it hits all of the boxes, but like it's filmed beautifully, it's acted beautifully, it's written beautifully. The overall quality of this season has been such a treasure to behold, and I think that HBO would be crazy not to
see how long they can make it go.
They can make it go. Again, don't like milk it so that we're sick of it by the end, but like at this, like I think it would be stupid to only do 2 seasons when you could do 3 or 4.
I don't think it's been announced or is in any sort of active development, but like they haven't completely shut the door on more games, have they, Jake?
No, I don't know if they're working on any. I kind of don't think they are, but Naughty Dog, I think, has said they're interested in continuing the Last of Us franchise. And I know, I mean, they do have the multiplayer component, which is supposed to come out sometime in the next couple of years, which normally, multiplayer is one thing, but Druckmann has gone on record to say a couple times that this is going to be more story focused. I don't entirely know what that means, but I mean, maybe there's threads there that could be translated into another season of some sort.
Yeah, because I believe they said from the jump they will not go beyond what has happened in the game. So like they're not gonna have a TV season sequel to the second game. But hey, there's plenty of in between time. I'm just saying.
And spinoffs are always a thing too. There's like the beginning of the Firefly movement.
Ooh.
All of those things. And I think that's, you wait for after season 2, but like there are things that you could do within this world that have not been explored. Yeah, I think doing a season of Kathleen's brother and the Kansas City Rebellion is possible. Bring back, like, if you can hire Melanie Lynskey, why wouldn't you hire Melanie Lynskey?
I'd like a quiet romantic drama about Frank and Bill. I want what I want, and that's all I can handle.
Welcome to co-hosting a show with Chris Hayner.
I do think, to your point, Chris, that within Last of Us Part 2, I think there are a lot of smaller stories, flashbacks that they could expand on quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want them to be stretching out the events of Last of Us Part 2 as long as possible, but I do think there's room to kind of touch on some of the newer characters that are introduced that don't get quite enough screen time in the game. I think one of the issues people had with 2 is that you didn't spend enough time with certain characters, and that made certain events.
I agree. I know what he's talking about, and I agree.
I don't know what he's talking about, but I have, based on the way that episode 1 has expanded upon things that we have heard are not big deals in the game, I fully trust them to do that, and I those have been the most interesting episodes to me as a non-player, and I would be interested to see that more in season 2 because of the characters that I've heard that are in part 2.
Yeah.